let's get straight to it. Make sure y'all subscribe. Let's get it. I'm gonna lay my head down. A little tired.
The PlayStation State of Play. That semi-regular ritual where Sony dangles a bunch of new games in our faces like a cat toy, and then, if it goes anything like anything else recently, we don't learn about when it's going to actually happen. Mail chicken blocked again. Gotta not say bad words in the intro. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, the top 10 new announcements from PlayStation State of Play. Starting off at number 10, Konami showed off Silent Hill F and has unveiled some gameplay. And although I made that release date joke in the intro, a release date. You can't blame me for that release date joke. Nobody's talking about the release dates of their damn games anymore. So this one really aesthetically marks a huge departure from anything I've seen in the Silent Hill series. Yes, they've had color, but it's always been that sort of grimdark version of any color. This is a very colorful looking game. Very pretty too, to be frank. I'll say in terms of the gameplay, it looks a little more action oriented than you might expect. Although I kind of feel like the Silent Hill 2 remake did trend in that direction a little bit more. It's not like Devil May Cry or anything. It's certainly what looks like somebody who doesn't fight a whole lot, hitting some pretty demented looking monsters with stuff, pipes or spears. I don't know. I am definitely impressed that they managed to make something that looks a lot like Silent Hill, but looks very little like Silent Hill at the same time. Konami, especially in recent years, is not really known for subtlety or particularly on-point sensibilities or games. Just games. I don't know, it looks pretty visceral, frankly, very pretty and super unsettling. I'm very intrigued by Silent Hill F. It's coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC September 25th. Moving on to number 9, it's Romeo is a Dead Man. Suda51's time-traveling fever dream with, just a bunch of new crazy crap. So Suda51's back. His signature brand of stylish chaos is back. It's called Romeo is a Dead Man this time around. It's an ultra-violent sci-fi action game developed by Grasshopper Manufacture, and it's going to release sometime next year. You are Romeo Stargazer, which is, by the way, a hell of a name. An FBI agent, okay? So he narrowly escapes death thanks to a time paradox, and what I'm going to say is serious, a mysterious device implanted in his face by his grandfather. He is resurrected as a masked hero that is named Dead Man, and he hunts down space-time fugitives across multiple universes. Now, if you thought any of that stuff was heavy-handed, wait until you hear this. Romeo's mission intertwines with his own personal quest to find his missing girlfriend. Do you know who Romeo's missing girlfriend is? It's Juliet. Suda51 is a freaking madman, okay? Complete eccentric. But how can you not at least want to see what the hell is going on here? Again, this one's not coming until 2026, but man.
I don't want to play.
Moving on to number 8, Pragmata returns. The long-lost Space Odyssey from Capcom. Years of radio silence. Broken by Capcom. Their enigmatic sci-fi adventure Pragmata finally resurfaced. This one was announced way back in 2020 and had become something of a myth. Fans kind of wondered if it had drifted into the void of development limbo, maybe even cancellation, but it is back now, and it's bringing some intriguing gameplay mechanics with it. It's set on a desolate lunar station. It follows the story of Hugh, this astronaut, and Diana, an android. The two form an unlikely partnership as they navigate the station. Really, what else are they going to do? They face off against rogue AI, blah, blah, blah. But it's one of these dual character games where you control both of them simultaneously. Hugh does the heavy lifting and jetpack assisted stuff and combat and all that, whereas Diana does hacking powers. And, the manipulating the environment type stuff. The trailer showed us a blend of action and strategy, and it's interesting. it demonstrates a kind of a synergy that is required that you're going to have to basically pilot two people into. And I mean, Capcom doesn't mess around. They wouldn't have brought this out of the oven for no reason, or let us peek into the oven. They did confirm a release window of 2026, so very, very possible we see this one. Should be super interesting to find out even really what it turns out being. Moving on to number 7, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, now with a multiplayer tease? I know I like giving Konami kind of a hard time for borderline abandoning gaming for a few years, but they're kind of killing it. So we got a new gameplay trailer of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, and I mean, it looks good. It looks real good. And on top of that, you got the Snake versus Monkey minigame, the Sony crossover, which is going to be available on PlayStation 5 and PC versions of the game. The Xbox version is going to feature a different minigame, Snake versus Bomberman, which is ostensibly new, but I think what everybody was really particularly interested in was the possibility of a Metal Gear Online mode. Like, I don't know if you remember Metal Gear Online stuff, but it was, I mean, and I'm not talking the unicorn zombies online. Was that even online? I don't even remember. It felt like a crappy online game. But Metal Gear Solid games had an online component, and they teased it here. They didn't really let us know exactly what it's going to be, but man, this is a pretty looking game. It is a great remake, but like the kind of remake you'd really like a Silent Hill 2 type remake. I don't know. I think it's going to be a serious banger. And it's launching on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC August 28th.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 6, Tides of Tomorrow. Hey, did you like Waterworld way back in the day? Do you even know what that is? Well, the Field of Dreams guy was basically a fish man in a post-apocalyptic ocean world. I don't think the fish man thing is part of this, but like, I also don't think that saying this is in no way influenced by Waterworld would be probably wrong. So basically, the developers behind Road 96 are plopping us on a future Earth that's been swallowed by the oceans and microplastic diseases. You're infected with plastemia, and I'm just saying that in real life. I'm not talking about I'm just kidding. That's the concept of the game. I don't think that plastemia exists or ever will exist, or at least I hope. Anyway, this isn't just a solo story game. You actually follow another real life player, and their past decisions actively warp your story. Like, all right, so say they made a peace deal with a floating merchant city or something. Great, you might get a warm welcome there. Did they burn it down for a can of beans? That's not going to be great for you. And that makes this a fairly interesting sounding game to me. As of now, they're saying it will come out February 24th, 2026, but I mean, that's a long time from now. You never know. And number 5 is Lumines Arise. It's been like 6 years since Lumines, and it might have even been a remaster. I don't remember. It's been a long time. But so in a lot of ways, it's similar to Tetris Effect, and in a lot of ways, it's not. It's a puzzle game. It does the same kind of music and visual affecting stuff that Tetris Effect does. But the way it works, it is a block dropping game, but also you have side to side dynamic. I mean, look at it. It's really hard to explain, but it's not very hard to play. Hard to maybe beat, but not hard to play. They're also adding Burst, which is a new strategic layer. There's a gauge to charge, which lets you lock a formed square in place. Lumines it's a cool game.
Nothing about this game is cool. See what else we got. So I got this game called Sea Remnants.
All right, moving on to number 4. It's a little bit of a difficult to categorize one.
This shit look weak. I ain't even gonna lie. Neo 3. I think I played
So
Neo
we're going
2.
from something I don't completely understand to number 3, something I completely understand. Neo 3 is coming. Team Ninja officially unveiled Neo 3, set to launch early 2026. But guess what? If you don't know, there is a demo now available on PS5. You can play Neo 3 now. It's not out for another half year, and you can play it free. So, interesting thing about this entry to the Neo series, you got two distinct combat styles, Samurai and Ninja. You can switch between them. The Samurai is more of a traditional swordplay with martial arts type thing and a parry system. The Ninja style emphasizes speed and agility. In a lot of ways, it kinda, I know this sounds absurd, kinda sounds like being able to switch between different styles in Yakuza, but of course it is a Souls-like action RPG. I also don't think I think there are other ones with styles that, I don't know, this just rings closer to that sort of two-style specificness of a Yakuza game to me for whatever reason. Moving on to number 2, an absolutely phenomenal development. This has been something I've been following with great interest. The 007 game from IO Interactive. Guess what? It's called First Light. It is a James Bond origin story. It is its own version of James Bond. It exists in its own world, separate from any of the movies, and wow, it looks super interesting. First Light is, of course, going to blend what IO Interactive does best, the Hitman franchise, with the James Bond mythos. But I would say that this trailer gives us a little bit of an indication that this is a little more narrative heavy than Hitman. Not that Hitman has no story elements or anything, but this looks like they're deliberately doing something a little more focused on developing a character, which to me says this is probably a franchise of games from. And finally, at number 1, Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, an Arc System Works 4v4 Marvel fighting game. From the people who make Guilty Gear and Dragon Ball FighterZ, Arc System Works. Now that might sound way out there, but if you're looking at the footage, it's a fighting game. It's a Guilty Gear looking fighting game with tag team stuff going on. And to be clear, that's what I would probably prefer from this developer. I don't know if Marvel would lend itself to something like Dragon Ball FighterZ, which I think gets a little bit off into the weirder territory at times, not all the time, but I think orienting this a little bit more towards a traditional fighter is a good idea. It's also pretty as hell, frankly. I'm loving the art style. I love how I love Arc System Works graphics. I mean, they're not necessarily consistent between every single one of their games in terms of style, but also they kind of are in a weird way. I don't know. They know their audience though, and if you look at this in 4K, it is gorgeous. I'm really looking forward to Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. It could honestly be one of the bigger fighters of next year when it's coming out. I do have some bonuses for you.
All right, we're ready to get out of here. I'm probably do one more video. I don't think we need to do 100 videos. I don't do 100 videos. Anyways, let's get out of here.